Have you ever walked into a garden and felt like you'd stepped into another world? That's the power of these incredible recycled bottle domes. They're not just shelters for plants, they're shimmering sanctuaries built from what most people throw away. In this video, I'll show you ideas that prove beauty and sustainability can live side by side. Welcome to Backyard Fortune, a channel dedicated to turning ordinary materials into extraordinary gardens. This video is packed with ideas, and we've added timestamps so you can skip to your favorite sections. If something sparks your curiosity, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe to you, I'm just another face on a screen. But behind this content, there's a real story and a real family. This isn't just a video. It's a piece of my heart. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, it truly matters. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just helping a creator grow. You're helping a dream stay alive. You're giving a small family hope, one click at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for seeing me. One, yellow bottle wave arch. Morning light spills across the garden, and suddenly the arches seem to awaken. What once were rows of discarded yellow plastic bottles are now reborn into flowing sculptures that ripple like ocean waves. From their frames, purple morning glories and wild vines weave in and out, softening the geometry with petals and leaves. Children laugh as they run beneath the golden canopy, their shadows broken by butterflies drifting lazily in the air. It feels less like a recycled project and more like a dream you could walk through. These arches are more than decoration. They are proof of what happens when waste is given a second chance. By arranging bottles in undulating waves or perfect tunnels, and pairing them with climbing plants, anyone can transform something ordinary into a living garden structure. The yellow plastic glows like stained glass when touched by the sun, casting warm light onto cobblestone paths or grassy lawns. With each curve, the arch becomes a trellis for vines, a shaded walkway, and a reminder that sustainability can be beautiful. The secret is in repetition and patience. Collect bottles of the same size, clean them, and interlock them along a sturdy frame. Add soil and trailing plants at the base, choosing vines such as morning glory, jasmine, or bougainvillea, species that love to climb and bloom generously. Over time, the plants will weave themselves into the lattice, softening the synthetic edges until structure and nature are inseparable. From afar, the arches resemble waves of gold and green rising from the earth. Up close, they invite you to pause, to touch, to look at the world differently. This is the quiet power of DIY upcycling. It doesn't only change your garden, it changes your relationship with what you thought was trash. And perhaps, as you build one of your own, you'll discover what many gardeners already know, that beauty often hides in the simplest, most overlooked things, waiting for a chance to bloom again. Two, red heart bottle arch. As sunlight settles across the garden, the heart arches come alive, glowing with the warmth of red glass. Yet these aren't glass at all, but hundreds of repurposed bottles, transformed into radiant portals that seem to pulse with life. Roses twist and climb through the frame, their blossoms softening the edges of plastic, their fragrance mingling with the hum of bees. Butterflies drift lazily, landing on petals and bottle rims alike, as if unaware of the difference between nature and what was once waste. There's something deeply moving about walking through an arch like this. Each step feels like passing into another world, one where love and creativity reshape what we discard into something meaningful. The translucent bottles catch the light like jewels, casting ruby glows on the path below. Couples pause to take photos, children run under the curves, and gardeners smile quietly, knowing this heart is more than a symbol. It is proof that sustainability can be beautiful. The beauty of such a project lies in its accessibility. All it takes is a vision, patience, and everyday bottles that might otherwise end up in a landfill. With a sturdy frame, red bottles interlocked tightly, and climbing plants like ivy, asters, or roses, anyone can recreate this magic. Over time, the plants will weave themselves into the structure, making it appear alive, as though it had always grown from the earth. These arches aren't just art pieces, they are lessons. They show us that what we throw away still holds possibility, that waste can become wonder. In their glowing curves, we are reminded that design can heal, that gardens can be places of both beauty and renewal. And perhaps, as you pass through a heart like this, you'll find yourself inspired not only to build one, but to look at everything you discard with fresh eyes. Three, twisting spiral bottle arch. In the quiet of the garden, a spiral rises, twisting toward the sky as if caught in mid-motion. From a distance, it looks like a ribbon frozen in the air, its curves shimmering with hues of turquoise, amber, and smoky blue. Yet step closer, and you see the truth. It is made entirely from recycled bottles, bottles once forgotten, now reborn as sculpture. Sunlight pours through the glass, scattering fragments of color onto the grass, as if painting the ground with light. Purple morning glories curl lovingly around the frame, their blossoms softening its bold geometry. Butterflies float nearby, completing a scene that feels less designed than discovered, as if nature and creativity had conspired together. Another spiral leads you deeper into the garden, where shades of green and blue bottles form concentric rings, their round bases facing outward like layered petals. Light bounces from one to the next, creating the illusion of a glowing tunnel, alive with energy. Vines climb the arch, dotted with violet flowers, while bees hum and dragonflies hover, drawn to the blossoms. To walk beneath this curling canopy is to enter a dream, a place where waste transforms into wonder, where geometry becomes poetry, and where the garden feels like a living fairy tale. Farther down the path, yet another spiral awaits. This one arches gracefully over cobblestones, crafted from clear and colored bottles that shimmer in the daylight. Morning glories weave through its curves, and birds perch along the arcs as if resting on the strings of an invisible harp. The spiral feels like a portal, an opening not just into another part of the garden, but into another way of seeing. What once was trash is now alive, intertwined with vines and flowers, reminding us that beauty can come from the simplest of things when we choose to reimagine them. These spirals are not merely structures. They are lessons in patience, in vision, in believing that sustainability is more than just a word. It is a practice, one that can be joyful, colorful, and deeply human. And perhaps, as you look at them, you will feel the same quiet invitation to gather what is discarded and to twist it gently back into life. Four, bottle swing garden arch. In the heart of the garden, where sunlight filters softly through leaves, a simple swing becomes something extraordinary. Suspended from an arch woven with recycled bottles, its seat creaks gently as it sways back and forth. The bottles, once forgotten, now shimmer like jewels, scattering patterns of light across the grass. Hanging ferns spill over the structure, their fronds brushing the air, while butterflies drift lazily through the glow. For children, it is pure magic. For adults, a quiet reminder that joy can be built from the simplest of things. Elsewhere, the same idea takes on a different form. A rainbow of bottles arched proudly against the sky, each color catching the afternoon sun like stained glass. From its curve hangs a wooden swing, waiting to be used. Ivy climbs and blossoms wrap around the frame, softening the plastic with living green. Birds land on the ropes, tilting their heads as though guarding this playful corner of the garden. It is a place not just to sit, but to feel the hum of nature all around you. And then there is the arch that feels like a secret passage into a storybook. Clear bottles, arranged like translucent petals, form a perfect circle. From its crown, lush plants spill down, meeting roses and daisies that bloom at the base. The swing in its center moves slowly, carrying the weight of a child, or perhaps just the breeze. Sunlight pours through the bottles, scattering dappled patterns onto the path, while butterflies flicker like moving jewels in the air. Standing there, it is hard to tell where the man-made ends and the natural begins. These arches remind us that play and sustainability can meet in the most enchanting ways. With a simple frame, a collection of bottles, and a few plants, anyone can build not just a garden feature, but a living memory, a place where light, laughter, and creativity come together. It's proof that recycling can be more than practical, it can be magical. Five, Green Bottle Gothic Archway. In the quiet glow of morning, an emerald cathedral rises not from stone, but from hundreds of green recycled bottles, their translucent curves catching the sunlight like jewels. The bottles are stacked into sweeping Gothic arches, each one softened by ivy and jasmine blossoms that spill across the frame, blurring the line between human craft and nature's embrace. Walking beneath these towering forms feels less like strolling through a garden and more like entering a sanctuary where light, air, and greenery all become part of a living prayer. As the day moves on, sunlight filters through the bottle walls, scattering dappled green across cobblestone paths. It is here that bees hum lazily between roses, and the air carries the sweet scent of blossoms entwined with the cool hush of shade. Children pause to run their fingers along the glowing walls, marveling at how something once considered disposable has been reborn into a portal of wonder. Practical in their making yet poetic in their presence, these arches remind us of what is possible when creativity meets care for the earth. Each bottle tells a story of reuse, of transformation, of finding beauty in the overlooked. The vision is not about perfection, but about harmony, about creating spaces that heal, inspire, and invite us to linger a little longer. Perhaps the greatest lesson of these emerald gateways is how achievable they are. With patience, a sturdy frame, and a willingness to see waste differently, anyone can begin shaping their own passageways of light and color. They stand as both artwork and invitation, proof that sustainability doesn't have to sacrifice enchantment. In fact, it might just be the secret to creating gardens that feel like fairy tales come to life. 6. Bottle Garden Tunnel. Imagine stepping into a passageway where light and nature weave together, and every step feels like an invitation to linger. Here, thousands of recycled bottles, clear, green, and tinged with blue, have been transformed into arches that curve endlessly into the distance. Sunlight filters through their rounded bases, scattering luminous patterns that shimmer across the path like ripples on water. Between the bottles, vines climb gracefully, their leaves spilling downward, while bursts of purple morning glories and jasmine blossoms add fragrance and color to the living walls. The tunnel becomes not only a structure, but an experience, part shelter, part artwork, part garden. As you walk deeper inside, the air shifts to a cool hush, cobblestones beneath your feet echoing softly with each step. Ferns sprout in shaded corners, ivy cascades like drapery, and butterflies wander lazily through the air, unhurried in this sanctuary of green. In the late afternoon, the bottles glow like lanterns, scattering golden light across the curved interior. Children pause to marvel at the way their shadows dance, tracing the outlines of roses and lavender that grow nearby, while birds perch along the arch frames as if guarding this secret world. What makes this tunnel extraordinary is not its complexity, but its simplicity, proof that with imagination, even discarded bottles can be reborn into something timeless. By combining a strong frame, recycled bottles, and climbing plants, anyone can create a pathway that is at once practical and enchanting. It is a reminder that sustainability need not be hidden away. It can stand tall, glow brightly, and transform the spaces where we walk into places that feel alive, magical, and deeply connected to the earth. Seven, Infinity Loop Bottle Arch. In the middle of a wide green lawn, a symbol of eternity rises, an infinity loop, not carved from stone or forged from metal, but lovingly pieced together from clear recycled bottles. Sunlight plays across their rounded bases, scattering glimmers like crystal, while vines spill softly from the gaps, trailing down like living ribbons. At its base, wildflowers bloom in yellow and purple, attracting bees and butterflies that weave gracefully around it. This loop feels alive, a gentle reminder that growth, renewal, and creativity are cycles without end. As you circle around it, the shape shifts, sometimes a doorway, sometimes a portal, sometimes just an unbroken line returning to itself. Children laugh as they dart through its open curves, peeking through the arch as though it were a window into another world. Birds perch along the top, their songs echoing against the hollow bottles that hum faintly with the wind. It is simple, but also profound, proof that what we discard can be reborn into a form that feels timeless, even sacred. What makes this design so enchanting is its accessibility. A strong frame, bottles carefully arranged, a touch of greenery, and the vision to see beyond waste. These are all it takes to create a sculpture that speaks of balance and possibility. Placed in a cottage garden or open park, the infinity loop becomes both art and message, blending sustainability with beauty in a way that feels almost magical. Standing beneath it, you can't help but feel that nature and human imagination have clasped hands, crafting something eternal together. Eight, DNA Bottle Spiral Arch. In a garden where imagination blooms alongside flowers, a sculpture rises, shaped like the very code of life itself. From hundreds of recycled bottles, twisted and interlocked into a perfect double helix, a DNA bottle spiral arch emerges, not just as a structure, but as a reminder that even what we discard can become a symbol of creation and renewal. The bottles, in shades of blue and green, catch the morning sun and scatter it into jeweled patterns across the soil. It feels as though the garden is whispering back the ancient secret: growth is infinite, and beauty can be reborn from what we thought was waste. Around the spiral, vines curl upward as if recognizing their kinship with the design, softening the plastic bones with living leaves, blossoms, and even food-bearing stems. Imagine beans, cucumbers, or even cherry tomatoes weaving themselves through the helix, turning art into a trellis that feeds both body and soul. Walking beneath it, visitors feel as though they are stepping into a dream, a place where science, art, and nature hold hands. The DNA form itself carries symbolism, the endless rhythm of life, the link between past and future, the cycle of sustainability that begins with something as small as saving a bottle. When paired with flowering plants like morning glories or daisies, the spiral becomes alive with bees, butterflies, and fragrance, a miniature sanctuary of movement and color. This is the magic of recycled design. Not only do you create something breathtaking, but you also build a story that carries meaning into every glance and every step taken under its shade. If you're inspired to bring such an idea into your own space, start simple. Empty bottles, some wire or metal framework, and climbing plants are all it takes to begin. Over time, with patience, vines will wrap themselves into the spiral and the sun will do its part, painting patterns of light across your garden path. It doesn't need to be large or complex, even a small arch can hold the same poetry. And as you stand before it, you'll see more than a structure. You'll see a future where creativity and care turn yesterday's trash into tomorrow's wonder. Nine, colorful rainbow bottle arch. There is something truly magical about walking beneath a rainbow, and here, that magic is not painted in the sky but built with our own hands. Imagine rows of discarded plastic bottles, once forgotten, now reborn as vibrant arcs of color. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet glow together in harmony, like stained glass suspended in the air. Sunlight pours through the bottles, scattering playful reflections onto the cobblestone path below, while children run and laugh as though they've stepped into a living fairy tale. This rainbow arch does more than dazzle the eyes. It transforms waste into a story of hope. With a bit of creativity, every bottle can become a brushstroke in a larger picture, teaching us that beauty often comes from the simplest of things. You don't need expensive tools to try this at home. Begin by collecting bottles in different colors, or paint clear ones with eco-friendly dyes. Arrange them on a sturdy frame in layers, and let the sun do the rest. Suddenly, what was once trash becomes a portal of joy, a place where butterflies hover, flowers bloom brighter, and visitors pause to capture the wonder of it all. In cottage gardens, these arches rise like gateways into another world, blending naturally with roses, lavender, and daisies that nestle at their base. In meadows, they stand even grander, curving gracefully against the horizon while birds perch on their crowns and sing to the morning light. And as you stand beneath, breathing in the scent of wildflowers and herbs, you'll feel the deeper message carried by these colors, that renewal is endless, and that every small act of reuse is a thread in the larger tapestry of healing the earth. What makes this idea so powerful is its accessibility. Anyone can build their own rainbow, one bottle at a time. Children can join in, learning the importance of sustainability while creating a space that feels enchanted. Families can work together to turn discarded plastic into something that not only delights the eye but also nurtures the planet. The result is not just an archway of color, but a living lesson that when we choose creativity over waste, even something as ordinary as a plastic bottle can shine with extraordinary beauty. Bottle dome greenhouse. In the heart of a meadow, a dome rises like a jewel of glass and light. But look closely, and you'll see it's made not from expensive materials, but from hundreds of recycled bottles. Their bases interlock in delicate geometric patterns, glowing as the morning sun filters through, scattering soft beams across rows of basil, lavender, and trailing vines inside. It feels like stepping into a crystal sanctuary, where the air hums with bees and butterflies, and every leaf seems to lean toward the light in quiet gratitude. This greenhouse is more than a structure, it is a living classroom. The bottles trap warmth and moisture, creating a microclimate where vegetables, herbs, and flowers thrive. Gardeners often find that such domes extend growing seasons, making it possible to nurture tender plants even when the air outside turns cold. Families who build one together discover not just a place to grow food, but a magical refuge where sustainability is made visible, where every reused bottle tells a story of care for the earth. The charm lies in its simplicity. With basic frames, discarded bottles, and a bit of patience, anyone can build a dome that shimmers like stained glass by day and glows warmly at dusk. Children peek through the clear walls with wide eyes, marveling at the green paradise inside. Birds perch along its edges, while wildflowers grow around its base, blending man-made rhythm with nature's gentle abundance. It's proof that what we once considered waste can become the heart of a garden, a fairytale greenhouse that whispers of renewal, resilience, and beauty reborn. And that's the magic of bottle dome greenhouses, proof that with a little creativity, even trash can grow into something breathtaking. I hope today's ideas inspired you to see what's possible in your own backyard. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, leave a comment with your questions or ideas, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Together, let's keep building gardens that heal both the earth and the heart.